Hey y'all, hey, let's get into this intuitive reading, this intuitive message, this tarot card reading. Tarot card message for Corey and Carmen. I have other videos on them. Please go check them out. This reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Sometimes the tea is hot, sometimes it's not. Look at those cards. You have to sit back and watch the video to the end to determine for yourself. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're always here, welcome back, friend. All right, so I like when cards do like this, it just makes me feel like these are the things we can see. These are the things we can't see. Let's get into it. So Spirit is acknowledging with all the solar plexus energy, there is someone that you're hugging and kissing up on. This is adoration, snuggling, pillow talking, bonding, and being someone's favorite. This has to do with Georgia. Sweet as a Georgia peach. It has some energy to do with Georgia, acknowledging that there is a lot of emotion. There's also a lot of sacral energy. And that there's also a lot of communication around whom someone is hugging and kissing up on, whom someone is bonding with, whom someone is having a very kind, tender, charming, beauty, flirtation, and a delicious experience. And this is making the other person want to pounce on the other. Okay, so this is making Corey want to pounce and or Carmen want to pounce. There is the heart chakra being affected. Again, we have a lot of emotion with this orange here, but we also have a lot of sacral energy. And it's acknowledging that this is a time to do it. It's inspired action only. Now is the time, readiness, and we're following through this time. Like, we're not going to play small. We're going to go for it. We're going to go full force ahead. Spirit is acknowledging what we can't see is check on your mom and then what's the word? Return. Thank you. Return to your cellular self. Thank you. Return to your grounded self. Return to your root chakra. Get grounded. Stay connected. And just like return to your family, not just your physical family, but your cellular family. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper. Current energy that Corey has for Carmen. Thank you. He's acknowledging that they were once loyal. Like, she was once a loyal person to him, like a dog, like a homie, right? And Spirit is acknowledging now he is yelling out, screaming out, barking out, thank you, Spirit, crying out, because this is not that anymore. Spirit is also acknowledging dead end, stalemate, not now, lack of clarity, perspective shift is needed. There's also this energy of be quiet. Like, there's this energy of him saying, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Be quiet. Silence, discretion, contemplation, consideration, privacy. And he's acknowledging that she needs to be quiet because there's an energy of him and or her sweating like a sinner in church. Multiple moving pieces to this puzzle. This has to do with the solar plexus energy, the fire, and the ability to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you choose to do it. But you're also hiding behind your intuition because your third eye is telling you this is not right. There's an energy of guilt, remorse, nerves, worry, confession, coming clean, apology, and integrity is needed. There's also an energy that he needs a spiritual bath. And the reason why I say this is because there is negative things being put out into the universe around his energy, and it is connected to Carmen. So it feels like she's playing with his top. It also feels like that he could be dibbling and dabbling in manifesting someone to have some disruption and some delays. Excuse me. Now, this could be him putting the energy out there, or this could be her putting the energy out there. It does feel very layered, meaning that it could be happening simultaneously on both parts. But there's an energy of this having a trickling effect to someone feeling the energy of anxiety around this passionate entanglement. And we also have water here, acknowledging that this could be a water sign and or this could be emotional. Someone needs to focus on self-love, him and or her, because it feels layered. It feels like I'm talking to both of them, even though I'm calling and requesting on his energy about her. Okay, so self-love, relaxation, regeneration, satiety within, and replenishment. And Spirit said that they need to focus on inner calm. Someone is deep breathing or needs to, because they are filled with anxiety around this situation. Spirit said there's something else in the middle of the deck. He also feels like she is throwing 3 sheets to the wind. There's a musical instrument in one hand and there's a beverage in another. Swirl of communication, acknowledging that the ancestors are nearby, just looking at her and kind of gaining an understanding of what it is that she wants. Oftentimes when I see this card, it makes me feel like the universe and or ancestors, guiding lights, forces are acknowledging what is it that you want, but you have to say it. Like, there's this incubation period about manifestations being in the mind, but it comes to life with voice. It comes to life with a vibration, be that pen to paper or sound. You know how she says, give it sound, beloved. That's the energy. At the heart of it, she wants peace. There is a practice of divination, and we do see red here, meaning that she needs to get grounded. This is his energy that he's picking up on her vibes, right? There's an energy that he's acknowledging that she's blowing off steam, rebellion, merriment, over and overindulgence and wanting to escape. There's also this energy that he feels like she's luring. She's luring him and the collective into her emotional abyss with this temptation. And this could be in the energy of hankering, adder, intimacy, proposal, and a message of love. Like he feels like he's drowning in her issues just as well as much as she says that she's drowning in his. So what is the energy that Carmen has for Corey? All right, so Spirit is acknowledging that she feels like they were two peas in a pod, but this was more of a bromance than a romance. She's also acknowledging too, like she has to take a spiritual bath, or she needs to take a spiritual bath because he plays in that brouhaha as well. And she wants to get this negative energy off of her, focusing on self-love, relaxation, regeneration, satiety within, and replenishment. Spirit is telling me to go back to this card and just acknowledge that these are twin flames. There is a mirroring here for them to see each other. This is karmic, and there's water here. Could be a water sign and or could be emotional, but there was a lesson that needs to be learned, and then the cord needs to be cut. It needs to be severed. It needs to be burned, and they need to move on. This is a karmic relationship. Spirit is acknowledging that this is the road that they chose to be with this person, and that's not nobody's business, but enjoy the ride. This road is windy because this is not your righteous path. Not to say that your righteous path won't come with ups and downs, but this is throwing somebody out the car. Okay, this is not that. All right, and Spirit is acknowledging that she's acknowledging she does have anxiety around the solar plexus energy to choose him in this passionate entanglement, leaving her feeling emotional, and or could be a water sign. And again, energy is just it's like take a deep breath, step back and look at the overall picture. Like, what's the overall picture? What is it that you want? What are you trying to get out of this? And have patience. But more importantly, that she's dealing with anxiety when it comes to him. Okay, Corey and Carmen, current energy. All right, there's an energy of cheating in this relationship. There is an energy of someone opening the door to this relationship, maybe even having like threesomes or a third party. This reading is alleged. And Spirit is also acknowledging that this has a lot to do with social media. Their relationship, that's what the cards say. Okay? Some things don't got to be explained. All right. How does Corey currently see Carmen? Okay, he sees her as a shadow, making him kind of reflect on his shadow self, but he sees her in the shadow, okay, as the shadow. Thank you, Spirit. The dark side, shadow work, facing fears, the dark side of self, clearing the air, history, seeing through illusions, hidden in plain sight, soul work, healing the past. And so, again, with a karmic relationship, it creates debt, but if you heal it, if you acknowledge it for what it is, if you cut the cord, you don't have to deal with it again. Okay, you do not. No, that's just a download. All right, how does man? Not how does Carmen see Corey? And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The shadow, the dark side, shadow work, facing fears, the dark side of self, clearing the air, history, seeing through illusions, hidden in plain sight, soul work, healing the past. Ashe to the ancestors, Ashe to the universe. Okay, Corey and Carmen, current energy in regards to their relationship. Thank you. Okay, so this is the second, third time that we see that someone is doing some work. And here we have special recipes. So someone was playing with that stuff. And I tell you guys all the time, you play with love spells in the beginning and you get what you want, but on that back end, you can't get rid of them. You got to go through some traumatic ordeal for the person to wake up from the spell and say, you know what, I think it's time to go. But it takes so much effort. It drags your soul to the lowest of vibrations. Like you feel like, fuck it. Like for real. For real, that's the download. You almost feel like you're not going to make it up out of here. But that's the soul tie that you created. So you got to be careful with these recipes, okay? But Spirit is also acknowledging subconsciously someone, him and or her, was doing something to free themselves. They were also playing with it to get out. To be free to go with all the solar plexus energy, to be free. And Spirit said that this love had a timestamp anyway. It wasn't written in the stars. It was a star-crossed relationship, star-crossed lovers. Okay, Corey and Carmen, sending them love and light. Thank you. Spirit said it was just sex. And there's a lot of nosy people in their situation. And in the middle of the deck, somebody wanted to be praised. Somebody was trying to be like almighty. Spirit is acknowledging. How does Carmen move in love and light around this situation? Thank you. Okay, Carmen needs rest. That's how she moves in love and light in this situation. I do see water. Could be a water sign and or could just be emotional. But it looks like she needs to focus on self-care as well. All elements are attached to this card. Water, air, fire, and earth. Leisure is calling. Rest is the greatest practice of resistance against burnout and apathy. This card asks you to prioritize an opportunity for pause, quiet, and reflection. Rest could include a trip to the spa, a quick weekend getaway, or a day in bed watching reality TV. Actively resist the urge to be as productive as possible. You do not need to earn rest. Sleep on it. Just be. Okay? Rest, honey. All right. And how does Corey, thank you. Corey move in love and light? Ooh. Okay. Go ahead, Spirit. I love when you do this because I'm going to acknowledge. Spirit says a couple things I want to say. That's cool. That's cool. All right, so Spirit, here's another card. Boom. Okay, let's just deal. And the card was on the back of the book. Okay, but anyway, water sign. Let's stay focused. Water sign, soulmate energy. Could be a water sign, could be emotional. Coming into union, meant to be, fated relationships. This could be a creative collaborator, a platonic relationship, or a romantic connection. This card means your purpose and journey have run parallel and are finally joining for a smooth ride. Soulmates are not free of the effect of time or bad behavior. You are still required to exercise free will. Be a good counterpart and recognize when a relationship has run its course. All right, so it feels like endings and beginnings for sure. When it comes to him, he might be in another romantic relationship, but there's something that needs to be released. This does affect the heart chakra. At the heart of it, there is an energy of wanting peace, though. Spirit is also acknowledging that we see death, and now this could be a physical death, or this could be like a metaphor that something is ending. Okay. But we do see someone in the hospital, and this does seem like problems around the heart. That is what we can see. We also see what looks like spiders crawling up the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spirit said 5 is significant. Okay, but this does look like there's some type of energy that's happening here that could result in a transformation or a metamorphosis, that something has to come to an end. Okay, and Spirit is acknowledging that this has to do with the 7 of Swords in reverse. So there is an energy of disorganization around something coming to an end, and even paranoia around something coming to an end. This could also signal a plan or a strategy that isn't working in his favor, and that he needs to approach this from a different perspective. Okay. This is him having to look at things through a new angle, and this is giving him a lot of paranoia. Something else we're not seeing is the Devil card in reverse. This is quite interesting. Okay. So there is an energy. Now, this person is in the bathroom, but it's in reverse. Crazy. So there's an energy of release, and there's also an energy of liberation. But even though he feels released and liberated as he's moving forward in love and light, there is still this energy of paranoia and disorganization. There's an energy of him acknowledging that he has released himself from a toxic or an unhealthy situation. And so he feels free from any old and destructive pattern that he might have found himself in. Okay. And I'm just asking, how does he move in love and light? Okay. Okay. Let's get the deck out. Corey and Carmen. Thank you, Spirit. All right, there is the Magician in reverse, the hacker. So I don't know if someone was hacking into the other person's accounts, be that on any kind of social media, on the computer, but there is an energy of a hacker, and the hacking just isn't working anymore. But this is the Page of Swords in reverse. So there's a lot of gossip around what's happening on a computer or on a device, and there's a lot of defensiveness as well. This could this could involve a lot of gossip or manipulation tactics perpetuated by him and or someone else, be that Carmen. Remember, this reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. They both need to bear in mind that the information that they are sharing with others may not be kept private. And notice how it makes them feel when they're around people who are gossiping and or talking about this situation. They need to make clear, like, you need to gain some understanding of how it not just affects everyone, but how it affects you and how everyone sees you. Does that make sense? Subconsciously, this does have to do with the Empress in reverse. So this is the mother. This is Carmen in reverse. Acknowledging that she is not as open in this relationship to him. She's not as giving anymore. There's an energy of her being very disconnected and also feeling that there's some blockages, being cut off from something. Especially when it comes to this gossip that is happening. This is also an energy that she's finding it kind of difficult to have other romantic connections. That there is a manifestation that's trying to come through, but there are some blockages in that. And this is really heavy on masculine energy to make things happen. But she needs to really focus on balancing this out and staying in a feminine energy instead. Because if you're too much in the masculine energy and there is no balance, it just gets wonky. It gets out of whack. You know what I'm saying? It's constantly trying to find some balance. All right. Especially when it comes to airing something like for people to see. Thank you, Spirit. We also have that this is very draining for him and her with the Ace of Cups. This is emotional. This is even, thank you, Spirit, this is depressing even. It feels like there's a lot of emotion when it comes to this. There's an energy of depletion and there's also an energy of disappointment. There's an energy of feeling empty. There's an energy that someone is in need of self-care. Second time we hear that. It also indicates that someone feels very disappointed by a relationship that didn't work out as planned. However, ultimately, they just need to focus on self and nourish their emotions. Does that make sense? What's next for Corey and Carmen? Okay, there is fortitude in reverse. So the 9 of Wands in reverse. It is low flames in the area of business, but also in the area of passion. There's an energy of giving up and delays. There's an energy of something stopping right before you reach your goal. There's an energy of someone feeling very oppressed. There's an energy of someone acting stubborn to get their way, preventing completion. There's also an energy of someone seeing the other as the problem and wanting to control the other. Wow, this is deep. Okay. Spirit says that this weighs heavy with the 10 of Wands. Again, we see oppression. Again, someone feels overwhelmed and burdened by the other. This is moving forward. Someone feels like they have to leave. There's nothing for them here with this person. Even though you might have loved them before, because this is in the area of passion, but also in the area of business. Yeah, it feels like this is too much for me. This is too heavy for me subconsciously. Okay, I got to move on. All right. And then with the 7 of Wands, again, what we're not seeing in the area of business and in the area of pleasure, and the fire is dimming, it's dwindling out, it's fizzling out. There's an energy of hypervigilance moving forward, what we can't see, and someone feeling defeated. Someone is acknowledging that they're letting their anger get the best of them by acting defensive and hypervigilant about their beliefs when they are challenged, about what they believe is true when they are challenged. They're trying to stand up for themselves, but they see this as pointless now because people are going to believe what they want to believe, right? Spirit is also acknowledging that someone is lashing out when they feel provoked, and internally they are creating a lot of anger and frustration. They need to consider journaling instead of having this conversation, or have this conversation when they're calmed down. And there is going to need to be some kind of assistance or some type of mediator when they are there. This feels very heavy. This feels very toxic, and it doesn't feel like it's over. It doesn't feel like someone is going to be the first to like wave the white flag. Okay, you hit me, I'm hitting you back kind of energy. You smack me, I'm smacking you 2 times. It's hard. This reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. And now we sit back and let the universe do what the universe does.